Beko was a rights activist. Principally, that's what he was. He was many things. Don't forget he was a medical doctor too. The human rights records of this government is abysmal. The socio-economic rights, which is the theme of today's event, of this record is abysmal. There is no doubt that Beko would have challenged this government. You can see that with the absence of Beko, civil society activism in Nigeria has lost a lot of fire. And that is also complicated by the absence of Chief Gani Fahimi. So the two pillars of civil society activism in Nigeria have gone. And we're not able to replace them yet. And with events like this, maybe we'll be able to grow successors to them. So this is critical that we continue to champion the values they stood for, which are the values of patriotism, citizenship, justice, integrity, and national development. So these are critical for the society. And this is what they stood for, and that is why we do these memorials. Because every year we do Gani Fahimi memorials, every year we do Beko, Ransom Kuti memorials, because we believe in what they stood for. And we pray that we will have strong civil society activists who are as strong as them. So that's our wish, and that is why we try to perpetuate their legacies. It is very clear, and several civil society activists have accused the government of complicity. Because if you have a role and you refuse to play that role, it is reasonable to blame you and to suspect you for being complicit. The murderous massacre by herdsmen is against our laws. And we have elaborate law enforcement establishments, starting with the police, civil defense. So it's a failure of the political class, which is being accused now of complicity, to play the role for which they earn salaries, which is to enforce the law. And this is why so many Nigerians are accusing them of complicity in the murder. And you also have to look at the demographic circumstances of where the herdsmen come from and where the political leadership currently is from. So that is the basis for the suspicion that the political leadership is complicit. And this cannot be tolerated. And we must all together, jointly, challenge it. And if the political leadership is incompetent and incapable of providing security, then we need to remove the political leadership very clearly. These things are simplistic. You have a role, you're not able to play it, we remove you. So it is the responsibility of the government, which is controlled by the political leadership, to provide security and improve the welfare of Nigerians, which is an issue of rights, don't forget. Because the UN International Covenant on Social, Economic and Cultural Rights has defined these rights. You have a right to physical and mental health. You have a right to employment. You have a right to education. These are internationally defined. And Nigeria is a state party to the covenant. So it's a matter of law. And what is happening is lawlessness. And that cannot be tolerated. And if Beko were alive, he will not tolerate this. The Nigerian Constitution allows resignation. That's very clear. So that's number one. I don't know what the South African Constitution provides. But Zuma is a member of a political party and he cannot grow bigger than his political party. That needs to be clear. I am a member of a political party. I cannot grow bigger than the political party. Zuma is a member of the ANC. He cannot be bigger than the ANC. So, Zuma must be a Democrat. Now that the party has taken a decision, he must comply. I think Buhari should resign, clearly. Oh yes, I personally think Buhari should resign. He has failed woefully. Look at the economy. Look at anti-corruption. He's the leader of the government. He must take responsibility. This idea is that I appointed Mr. A and he failed. You appointed him, you take responsibility for his appointment. You take responsibility for his failure. Power has not improved in Nigeria. Corruption is worse. You just asked me a question about insecurity. Who's in charge? General Buhari is in charge. He's the head of the government. He's the president. He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. If he's not able to provide security, he should resign. I call on Buhari to resign.